would advise you, make sure you come with funds. Why do I need another phone? That is what I feel anybody that is reasonable should do. You don't need to go and start getting a credit card. I worked at times 15 hours straight in the cold. My world almost ended. It was very therapeutic for me. Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're just seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Esther. You can call me CEO. In today's video, I will share my experience with you so far after spending over a year in Canada. Okay, if you've not seen my previous video, I would advise you go watch it. I relocated in 2025. I had a baby. I came in on a work permit. I lost my job in between all of this. And right now, I just want to share with you the experience I've gained so far, the cultural shock, the things I would advise you not to do if you're migrating. Now, let's get started. One thing I'm going to say is, if you know you want to relocate, please make sure to have your own money. Okay, let me explain it. What I'm trying to say is, make sure you come with funds. Yes, it's very important. People will tell you, oh, don't worry, you can stay with me. It's just for us to sleep and wake up. No, it doesn't work that way. Human beings are so funny. In fact, for the very first day you land at the airport, you hear things like their numbers are not reachable, you know, things will just go south, like you won't hear from them again. And if they manage to accommodate you, please respectfully say to yourself, I don't want to spend more than a week or 2 weeks with these people. There's a reason why I said so. Um, the first reason is bills are not friendly here in Canada. So everybody pay bills, especially when you're working. You would understand that even the money that comes in, you have just little to save because you're going to pay for your light bill, you're going to pay for your rent, you're going to pay for your utility, even your phone bill. Yes, it is very, very important that you come in with funds. So when they tell you you need to have proof of funds, it's not for the Canada government. No, it's for you. Because if you don't have a job, I was lucky to even land a job back home before I came. Some persons don't even have a job at all. Probably they came in as permanent residents and they will have to wait and start, testing the labor market. And for the period you're testing labor market, are you going to stay with somebody that will start giving you attitude because they feel you are beginning to inconvenience them? So that's why I said, please make sure you come with your own fund. This is very, very important. Number two thing you should know is, don't follow the trend. No. I hear people say, oh, I just came into Canada. I went to the store. I was able to get an iPhone, Now I'm using the latest iPhone. Yes, it is good to use the latest iPhone. But the question again is, can you really afford it for now? I'll give you a back end story. When I came in first, the people I stayed with, oh, you can go and get the phone. I came with an iPhone 11. Yes, and said, oh, you can go get a phone. They'll give you the phone. You pay for two. They gave me the breakdown, and because of course me, I'm also a person that does my research very well. I did my research. I understand what it entails, to get the phone. Yes, I qualified to get at the time a Samsung phone, but I asked myself a question: why do I need another phone? I have a phone already. The only thing I needed was just to get a Canadian line because that would help you to settle them properly. People are asking for your number, they want to reach you directly and not on WhatsApp. That is what I feel anybody that is reasonable should do. Do not forget, I had a job from Nigeria before I came in, but I wasn't earning yet. So even if I started earning, I asked myself the question, do I want to start putting unnecessary bills on myself? Yes. And the answer I gave myself was no. When we got to the store, I asked the attendant, am I permitted to use my phone on a Canadian SIM? And they said, absolutely yes. And that was the option I opted for. And I'm grateful to God I did it because I don't want to be under unnecessary financial pressure. Imagine them telling me I'll be paying $45 monthly, for if I want to opt on any plan for a phone. The question is why? And it's not even one phone that is so, effizious. I don't know if that's correct. If you know any other word I could have used, please drop it in the comment section. So I just thought, why should I? You know what? I scrapped it. I got a SIM and I was using my phone. I didn't change my phone until when there was black market. I even missed the black market and I was able to get a very good phone for myself. Now, if you want to know the kind of phone I got, comment in the comment section. I'll tell you them. So that is it. Number three thing I would like you not to do is still in the light of following the trends. You don't need to go and start getting a credit card with higher amounts. I know people will say, yes, you need a credit card to build your credit scores, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you do need it. So let me tell you what I did in my own case. Because I knew that I had limited time to work before I was going to put to bed, I thought I'm not going back to work again. And because I do not want to be under any unnecessary financial pressure, this is what I did. I did not get a credit card. Yes, you had me. I opened a bank account. I have my debit card, and the little money I was earning, I was able to manage. Now, let me tell you what credit card does. If you are not very disciplined, you would run into trouble because you would think, yes, this is my money now. Let me just spend it. It is not your money. If you don't pay back when you ought to pay back, you're going to be in a financial mess. And you don't want that. The credit score you're trying to build will not turn out to be something that's going to mess you up at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure that's not what most of us cut out for. So I didn't get a credit card. Now, let me tell you when I eventually decided to get a credit card. That was when I had my baby and I was going to go back to work. Now, remember, I worked for a while. I didn't have enough money. So I needed a credit card as a backup. That is a smart way to move. Now I need the credit card. It was necessary for me to get it. I don't know if you understand. It was now something that I need. It wasn't compulsory. There are two things. Necessity is different from being compulsory. Nobody's compelling me. Nobody's saying you must get it. But at the time, I needed it. It was a necessity for me. I don't have enough money. I was going to get stuffs for myself to go back to work. So I jumped on the credit card. Even when they were asking me, oh, you have a limit, they told me the limit I had. I think I had about 2,500 limit. I told them no, I don't want. I just wanted 1,500. The lady over the phone asked me again. I confirmed. I said, yes, I want just 1,500. That's because I do not want to overshoot my shot. It is very, very important. And what I do is immediately I took out from that credit card to get the things I need for myself, for my work. Immediately I got paid, I put it back. And it has been like that ever since. Do not put yourself under unnecessary financial pressure because you want to follow the trend. I know what I'm saying. It hasn't happened to me, but I've seen people regret. Someone was telling me sometime that if she sees the person that introduced credit card to her when she was a student, that she was going to swear for the person. That is because they did not explain to, even as students then, they will just be pushing you. You can get this, they'll be putting all those things in your face. There are a lot of things you can get here for free to make your life easy. I must tell you the truth. I went to a store to check out beddings. Yes, mattress, you know, and they even told me you can finance it. I said, hey, this people, if you don't come with your akonuche, I don't know if you understand that. If you understand what that means in Igbo dialect, please drop it in the comment section. You would just have yourself messed up. And you don't want to be in that situation because do not forget the reason why we're doing this is to build credit. If you mess it up, you'll be able to build credit for yourself. Fast forward to when I was going to leave the house where I was squatting to go and get my own place. That was when I understood what credit means. For every landlord you meet, they will want to check your credit score. Trust me, they do not joke with that. Your credit score, they must check. And I was lucky enough to, meet up to what they wanted. I think at the time I had over 650, credit score because I was able to manage myself well. If from the beginning when I landed, I've gotten the biggest phone, the biggest iPhone, I've upgraded, I would have been in financial struggle. And you don't want that. You need to be financially smart. And again, I'm going to be giving kudos to creators out there. I watched videos and I learned a lot. You know, when you learn from people's mistake, you would never fall into the same pit. That was what I told myself. I've had stories, oh, they pushed me to get in a credit card. I never knew. But me, I came in with my world sense intact. I knew what I wanted. I knew when I was going to get what. Now, let's dive into something else that people get trapped in here in Canada. I'll tell you, internet. Mm-hmm. Yes, internet. Oh, I want a very high speed internet. Before you know it, you go and start paying for an extra internet aside from what you are using on your phone. I did not do that. Now, this is not me saying people that did it are not financially smart. No, it depends on what you want to achieve. I might be breaking this down in another video because there are some reasons why you might even need a high speed internet. If I break it down in my next video, I want to know if some of us understand the reason why I said there are reasons why you might need a high speed internet in your house at a time. But now let me tell you something. Do not forget, I came in as a worker, so I already have a job. There was no need for me to get extra internet in the house because I was able to get a good deal. My phone internet can connect to my system, my TV, whatever. So I asked myself, how much am I earning that I will not start coughing out extra, say 50, 60, $70? It depends on the provider you're using for a home internet. Whereas I have internet on my phone, like data that I can even connect to my system and my TV. So I said to myself, I am not going to get it. When I moved in fact, they kept coming. The caretaker was like, don't you want, I don't want to mention names here because it's not a paid advert. But if you live in Canada, you will know the various internet providers that we have. Yes. Okay, don't you want to use this? They will come to your house. They came several times. They called me. I said, no, I'm okay for now. And guess what? I am still using my phone to connect to my internet and to connect to my TV or anything I want to do in the house. That is because I just want to be sure that I keep my finances intact. Do not forget the reason for this video. Do not follow the trend. So all of these financial lessons were the things I learned so far ever since I got to Canada. Now, let's go to another chapter that is very interesting and that I found dear to my heart. The lesson I learned again is do not confide yourself to a particular space. I will explain to you. When I came in first, people I was staying with, nice people, something went wrong along the line and I had to, leave. Don't remember, forget what I told you earlier. Come with your proof of funds. Nobody can accommodate you for so long. So I understood when I started seeing those signs that it was time for me to get my own place. Even though I was not financially buoyant enough, I just had to for my own peace of mind. One thing I did again was immediately I landed Canada, I looked for a community. I am a Christian for the record, so I looked for a Christian community. In fact, I started attending services, fellowships. I got to meet people to the extent that when I had my baby, shocker, to the glory of God, God blessed me with people in my life that even till date, I'm still in awe. Like, am I able to serve people like this? I got a 1 year supply of diaper for my baby alongside with wipe. I got individual gifts. In fact, they asked me to create a registry. If you know how it works, you create a registry on Amazon, you list out the things you want there. So people go there and see, okay, this is what you want. They buy it for you and they send it to your address. In fact, life was so, I was like, God, people are so nice. Not just black people, even white people. I know of a lady, I don't know if she want me to mention her name. Rosa, you're a wonderful soul. I don't know her from Adam, but she would leave her house. She lives about 30 minutes away from me. She would drive down, bring me stuffs. It's just so awesome. I just imagine if I had confided myself to the people I landed in their house, I would have just missed a lot of things. So do not restrict yourself. I'm not an extrovert. But when I got to Canada, I said to myself, you know what? This I'm not an extrovert thing is not going to work. Else, you will see shaggy. And I thank God I listened to my instinct. I met people, I went to church. In fact, till today, I call these people family. They see my daughter, they always want to play with her, they want to carry her. In fact, they are just so wonderful. So I said to you again, do not limit yourself, don't restrict yourself. So yes, they're my family. Yes, they're my friends. No, there's nothing wrong in you making more friends, meeting more people, and you can even turn them into family as time goes on. Let me add one more thing that I also learned when I landed here in Canada. I taught myself to, have a personal relationship with God. It is very important. I'll tell you why. This country is designed for you to work, 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 and work and work. It has been designed to position your mind to say, oh, I've got bills to pay. Oh, I am owing this credit card. Oh, I have this one. So you just want to work and pick up shifts and forgetting the fact that it is God that makes us rich and has no stress or sorrow to it. Now, I'm not saying working is bad, but I'm saying create time for God. Have a personal relationship with Him. Aside from the fact that you go to church, you go to fellowship, what time do you have with God one on one? I promised myself before I left Nigeria. And when I came, I integrated myself into the fellowship of God. I met good people and I have not turned back ever since. If all of this I've said is something you think is worth emulating, please, by all means, go ahead and do so. I'm only here to share my 1 cent about my 1 year so far in Canada, the mistakes I made sure not to make, and how I've been keeping my head sane ever since. I hope this helps. We're going to be talking more about my journey in the subsequent videos. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.